Good morning. It's Sunday, beginning of the week or the end of the week, depending upon how you want to look at it. January 24th. And today I want to talk a little bit about the fallout from the Capitol riot. You can view this as a recap. Things have happened, and some people will consider them good things, and some people will consider them not so good. But I don't think anything really good came out of the Capitol riot. But what happened to sites on the internet and users of the internet is what I want to talk about today. You probably know, if reading or following anything about the Capitol riots, that much of the planning for that event was carried on through the internet. And so this is a status report of sorts. What's come to my attention is that QAnon and other pro-Trump online sites are struggling and fracturing in the aftermath of the Capitol siege. A huge chunk of the QAnon community has vaporized. They've disappeared seemingly overnight from the internet. The message board, the pro-Trump message board, has revamped itself. They got rid of Trump's name on it, and it's now moved to some kind of broader message. And I don't have the new name, and if I had it, I wouldn't tell you. We don't need any more right-wing fanatic, right? So there's a sort of a rebellion going on, and there's a legal war, too. The legal war being that the internet providers supposedly had no right to attack these sites based upon freedom of speech. Now, it's very vague. It is very vague about what constitutes offensive speech and what constitutes provocative speech and what constitutes anything that can be removed from the internet. It's a dicey situation. But these right-wing sites are having trouble on the internet. Their communities are growing smaller and smaller. So this has been a very bad month for the radical right on the internet, according to several research analysts at the technical institute called Data and Society. QAnon was particularly hard hit based upon analysis that was done by Graphika. Graphika found that more than 60% of a densely clustered network of nearly 14,000 QAnon accounts are now inactive. I, for one, am glad that QAnon is becoming less of a threat. Just to give you an idea of the power that QAnon had before the siege, the number of tweets from these accounts was double what it usually was just before the siege. But after the siege, when Trump was banned 2 days later, and then Twitter closed, more than 70,000 accounts that were associated with QAnon. That was a 70% drop in attendance, so to speak. Don't get excited and think that QAnon is gone. That's not going to happen so fast. They have infected so many lives that QAnon will persist. But a major gathering tool, information tool, has been disrupted. And that's a good thing. But QAnon lives by itself now. Doesn't have to rely on Trump anymore. Graphika and the analytics company called Signal Lab have documented a 73% decline in misinformation, claiming electoral fraud after Trump was banned from the internet. So the misinformation declined by 73%. That means that there's still 27% of the people out there who believe in the fraud. But that's a big drop, and maybe those people realized that they made a big mistake. And then there was Parler, the website that took the place of Twitter when Trump was banned from Twitter. And then Parler got destroyed when Amazon refused to host their website on Amazon's servers, on Amazon's cloud. And of course, Parler sued to get their rights back. But a federal judge quickly dashed Parler's hopes of overturning the Amazon ban, writing that the site systems for addressing abusive and violent content remained insufficient in the light of the Capitol riot, which she called a tragic reminder that inflammatory rhetoric can, more swiftly and easily than many of us would have hoped, turn a lawful protest into a violent insurrection. So the lesson in this is that YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and anything else that's out on the internet is a powerful, very powerful propaganda tool. Now, we don't think about it as a propaganda tool, but it is. It is. And you see how quickly information spreads and how quickly that information is used and how foolishly the people who read that information believe it. There's no checking and rechecking. That stuff is out there. It's out there. And people believe it. We have a gullible society, and the internet is a dangerous tool in the wrong hand. Now, I love the internet. It has helped me immensely get through being trapped by the pandemic. So this is not the end of the internet. This won't be the last time that the internet is used to propagate some nefarious deal. So the lesson to be learned is that the internet is a dangerous tool in the hands of many people. And that can be something that is good or something that is very bad. But we, as the users, should take immense caution in what is represented on the internet, because we know that there's very little checking that has been done by those who are putting forth the statements and ideas that we will see. So I leave you with that this morning. See you tomorrow morning. Bye.